Hi everyone, you've just tuned into the very first episode of the MSAP podcast, a podcast where we unravel the possibilities of this competitive but exciting world of architecture and design.
And we're your hosts, Tanas Cabral.
And Siddhi Manocha.
And today we're embarking on a journey that transcends the boundaries of butter sheets and Canva links.
But wait, there's more. We're not just stopping at student life. Our podcast is your backstage pass into the professional minds that are shaping the next generation.
We're here to break down the walls that sometimes stand between professors and students. Join us as we sit down with esteemed professors and experts who bring with them a tons of years of experience and passion about architecture and design.
Today, we are here with Dr. Dipika Shetty, who is a professor at MSAP. Her expertise lie in traditional knowledge practices, sustainable practices of architecture, rural and urban planning. Today, with her, we're going to discuss the change of student life in architecture, how we're navigating college, coursing into careers, and anticipating future frontiers.
So, ma'am, I was thinking, why don't we begin this conversation by talking a little about how architecture colleges were when you were studying?
My education started in 1992 and my master's was over by 2001. So this was in an era where digital technologies were limited. Computer had just stepped into the profession and we relied a lot on manual skills of drafting, presentation, model making. Also, our resources were limited to the hard copy library resources. We relied a lot on the experience and expertise of the faculty to gain knowledge, and a lot of discussion and debates were required to get a comprehensive understanding of a subject. So we had to spend close to 8 to 12 hours for one big sheet of design. Every line had to be thought of, every sheet had to be composed, pre planned so that there was no mistakes. So, yeah, we didn't have Google Maps, we didn't have digital repositories. This was the era that we came from in terms of knowledge and background.
Ma'am, as a professor of architecture, what changes have you observed over the years in the way that students engage with the subject and how the generational shift has impacted the outlook of architectural education?
So, one important aspect which I feel good in present day at architectural education is access to resources. It's improved immensely. You can have knowledge of best of the world, updated knowledge, and right at your doorstep. And we do not lack any resources in terms of giving you the videos, the expert advice for any subject. Also, in terms of manual skills, you're not totally dependent on individual manual skills. You can overcome your lacunae with digital technologies. The accuracy of your understanding has improved with simulation softwares, analytics. So all these are good things that's happening in architecture today and which the students are learning right from day one in their education. The negative side of this is the amount of thinking and planning which needs to be done in a manual method is lacking in the digital world. So we used to think a lot before drawing a line, and every line or a dot was thought before it was done so that it's not a mistake. The sheets were composed beforehand with the right scales, with the right background and technique, so that nothing was wasted because it would take a lot of time and effort. So number of sheets was limited to your manual capacity, so we would not talk more than what we could achieve. Also, the resources were validated by our professors and experts. So whatever came on the sheet was a professional, validated technical resource or a reference. So we did not refer things which were not correct or not accurate.
Now we just go on Google and
Google
pick up any article.
any
and
article.
yeah.
So it's not validated or
Yeah.
approved or professionally,
Yes.
scrutinized. So these are the negative parts. Also, when there is too much of information overload, as I say, they are not digested. I always feel that when we had limited resources, we used to absorb it completely, and understand it in and out before we applied. But today, a lot of information just gets put in the sheets, but not necessarily understood or
Understood.
implemented in as part of design thinking. So the absorption rate is not as same as the information.
No, we as students also feel that, like when we're working on literature study, just in case, so we'll search so much information, we'll make 30 slides on the topic,
Yeah.
but there's like maybe 15 slides worth of information that we actually understand, that is right.
Understand and make it part of your design
Yeah.
in terms
Yeah.
of learning.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, I think, the negative side of the whole thing. So both are there, pros and cons of every era.
But
So-
like now, while being on the same subject, how do you think technology has influenced the learning and the teaching process in architectural basis today, like in our generation?
yeah.
How
So-
has it impacted us?
So when I look at the students and their way of thinking and design, the good part, again, I will put both good and negative. So
Yeah.
the good part is that because the information is available, they have a world view of that subject rather than a very specific regional view. But also, the primary case study has not lost its value, so people still go for visiting the architecture
Yeah, the sites.
sites and so on. So that balance is good, and that still makes a difference in the way the students understand. Um, the the bad part, or rather, I would say, the uh, tools which are there should not dictate your design capacity. So many a times the drafting skills or the knowledge of the software limits your design capabilities. When we used to do manual drawings, our design imagination is as much as our brains wanted.
Correct.
Any form, any idea, whatever we could draw, we would draw. There was no limit to our imagination and creativity.
Now if
But today, students take the easy way out, and as per their drafting skills or the knowledge of software, the design creativity is limited. So that should not happen. The tool should not dictate your imagination or creativity. The tool should follow what you want.
now if
So
we
that's
can't-
the danger of digital technologies.
now for us it's like if Revit can't make it, then it's not possible.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you should not limit your form because you can't draft it.
Yeah, definitely. Ma'am, in your experience, what skill set or what qualities set apart the most successful architecture graduates in their professional endeavors?
So if I look at design education today, it's going in a way where it's giving you skill sets of design thinking, multidisciplinary way of merging knowledge and ideas, and a very good coordination capacity. So if you look at architectural education, it's not just about the building design part of it, which you're getting trained for. You're getting trained for looking at the social aspects, the technology aspects, understanding site and surrounding, understanding nature, understanding services, understanding structures. So you already are equipped to understand multidisciplinary data and put it together. Also, based on site and context, very complex situations are resolved by you through the design process. And third, leadership and coordination capacity. So I feel today's architects should look themselves as design thinkers, resolving complex issues, and as persons who can lead teams which are multidisciplinary in nature. We excel compared to other disciplines. And that's why I see a lot of scope for architects to get involved in administrative jobs, managerial positions of project managers or development or town planning commissioners, where till now we didn't venture into. And of course, decision makers of policies, of new way of development, defining new built environments, new towns, how they should do the imagery should be created by architects. And of course, we have to join the startups. We have to look at creating new ways of assembly of design, creating new objects of design components. We have to get into the industry and not leave it to engineers to do all the designing. So I would like to summarize that architects should now target mainstream design of buildings, projects, large townships, and product design, startups, manufacturing of components, even software or environments of design thinking, which could be partially decision making processes, softwares, coding, analytics for architectural performances of various kinds, right from building analytics to sector analytics to smart city analytics. Similarly, policy making, decision making in terms of a commissioner or a district commissioner or a town planner or planning commissioner. You could look at various facets which influence built environment, and architects could get into all those facets and not just limit to the designing process only. So execution process today, even construction contractors could be architects. Why not? You would be responsible right up to the end product in terms of quality and refinement. So we have to understand that we have to look at business as a whole, model our capacities for the whole built environment framework, and be part of it in different levels as a group of professionals.
Thank you, ma'am. And now, before we have to end this conversation, is there any piece of advice that you would like to give to the current generation of students pursuing the degree and for them to make the most out of their college life?
So we have to see the advantages of every setting. So, for example, here you are in Udupi. Understanding this context, it's a very eco-sensitive area, having world heritage of three types of natural resources. We have lot of inbuilt cultural values which rank from 2nd century BC to present times. We have a multidisciplinary campus with more than 400 courses of 21 dominant streams. So this is a context of Manipal, which is not available everywhere else. So before you go from this place, take the most of these places. You have a culture which can teach you, the art forms that can teach you, the nature and the environment that can teach you, and of course the experts and the multiple disciplines, students, faculty who are there, who can give you inspiration to make you a better designer. So me here, being here in 25 years, I feel have created a unique combination of knowledge because of this place and this environment. So I am able to talk to a botanist about environment and how it influences design, how it can become a different way of designing for the type of setting we are in, be it coastal area, be it ghat area, be it tropical climate, what is suitable for that, how to look at disasters and its climate change aspects. So again, I have met people from different disciplines, be it medical, be it occupational therapist, be it psychologists, be it technologists, biochemists. So all of them, geologists, everyone has fed into my knowledge of being a better designer. So this is a very unique opportunity that you have. Similarly, other places would give you different opportunities, but what is the maximum benefit you can get from this context? Take that knowledge, because that makes you one of your kind, one of a kind. Because rest of it, what is available in books, is accessible to everyone else in the world. But what makes you unique is how you have exposed yourself to this place and this people and this context. So I think now also you have this opportunity of open electives and program electives. So you can make a unique combination of your personal experiences, these open electives, and your architectural knowledge, which you have gone from mainstream. So that makes you a unique professional. So for example, I have developed a unique combination of geosciences, environment science, cultural anthropology, and architecture, which is again a unique combination. Yeah. Similarly, each one of you have that opportunity being in this place to create these unique combinations of subjects and know-how, which others won't have. And that will make you sought after in the industry for that kind of work. So suppose you have a lot of hospital and medical science people. Tomorrow you can be specialized in designing hospital or catering to environments and products required by the healthcare facilities. So that can be your USP or your unique point, right? So this, I think, would be my advice. This multicultural or disciplinary thinking and multicultural, like Manipal attracts people from all over India and all over the world. So that itself is a very enriching experience. Learn from each culture, represent your own culture and absorb other cultures, learn from each other and from the surrounding. So this makes you very adaptable to any context. You can practice or survive in any culture. You know or accept lot of types of people. You're used to conversing with multiple languages. You can address multiple contexts because you're exposed to those cultures. So that makes you capable of being or surviving or practicing in many areas compared to others. This is something our alumni also have told. Like, if you are in Manipal, you can practice anywhere else.
As we wrap up today's episode, remember the journey from classroom sketches to real world masterpieces is an ever evolving adventure.
Until next time, this is Tanas Cabral
And Siddhi Manocha.
signing off the MSAP podcast.